So One Night Only was directed by Will Gluck and it stars Monica Barbaro and Callum Turner. And it's about this world where single people are not allowed to have sex except for one night a year where they're given 12 hours to kind of go crazy, whatever they want to do. And even people who are in relationships but are not married are allowed to also have sex as one night only. And it follows two people who meet on this night who don't want to be near each other, but as the night goes on, they may realize there may be a deeper connection. So when I heard about this movie, it sounded absolutely crazy. The trailer itself kind of just made it look like a very generic romantic comedy. And as far as Will Gluck goes, he directed a couple good movies. I liked Easy A. I liked Friends with Benefits, which I think is an underrated movie. I think it's better than the other Friends with Benefits movie that stars That 70s Show star. And also, I think Will Gluck, they marketed this movie saying, "Oh, it's from the director of Anyone But You." I did not care for that movie at all. I really did not care for that movie, and it just surprised me that it made as much money as it did. But I still wanted to give this movie a chance. I actually got a chance to see this movie early at one of those mystery screenings, and this was actually the movie. And if I'm being honest, there are some times where this movie is enjoyable, but overall, I just felt like this movie was just kind of a generic movie that didn't really do anything exciting or new or fascinating. And the whole concept about the fact that just this one night a year is supposed to be the only night where single people can have sex, they don't really do much with it. Let's start off with a few things I did like. First off, the thing I liked the most in this movie was like there's stuff in the background that you can see in this world that's like, okay, you can kind of see like what's going on and like some of the rules and just various things about how people feel and such. That I kind of like in movies and such. But I felt like the movie didn't really rely on that too much, and that was kind of annoying. Also, there are a few funny surprises here and there, a couple good lines here and there that kind of made me chuckle. There's one surprise, like one actor who's in this movie where it's like, I'm surprised you're in this movie. And I'm surprised you're doing the things that you're doing in this movie. I won't spoil it because I do think that it is a really funny surprise and probably one of the funniest things in the entire movie. And I will say the main couple at least has some chemistry. Like you can definitely tell like they do eventually care for each other a bit. But what this movie is really lacking is comedy. A lot of the jokes in this movie I felt flat. Like the jokes in this movie, they're not that funny. Like sometimes I was even thinking, are these even jokes? It's just embarrassing is a strong word, but I feel like this movie didn't really know what to do for the comedy. It just felt like I kind of just said this with Super Troopers. Like a lot of the stuff they do in this movie feels very sitcomish. Like a lot of, can you imagine like if this was like a mini series or something, and it's like okay, so this person's doing this thing, and this person's doing this thing, and this person's doing this thing. The thing is that it's happening to the two main characters, and I just felt like it could have been like it felt like a sitcom, like it was just very frustrating, and it just didn't find it that funny. But also the whole idea of this movie, it's absolutely bonkers. Like the fact that just one night a year, single people can hook up and do and basically just go crazy and such. Why? Like, why is that even a thing? And also, why in this movie do you have people saying, screw this, let's overturn it and such, and yet they don't do anything with that? It's just very frustrating. It's kind of like the first Purge movie, where it's like, oh, this one night a year where you can actually murder people and such. Okay, what are you going to do with it? We're going to make a very generic home invasion movie. That's what this movie is. That's what One Night Only is. It's basically The Purge, but a romantic comedy. Like, let's take this comedy about like, two people find themselves attracted to each other on the one night a year where people can actually hook up with no repercussions and such. There's so many questions about this world that I was just asking throughout the entire movie. Is like, is there like anyone out there doing stuff like this, or like anyone actually trying to stop it, or like what was the cause of this? What was the reasoning behind this? Who actually allowed this to happen? Why is this date the specific date? Like, for some reason, it's in the middle of August, which, fine, whatever. Couldn't have done it on June 9th or something for a joke or something. I don't get it. This movie doesn't really know what to do other than let's make a generic romantic comedy, but let's also kind of forget the comedy half the time. Like, one of the only gags I remember from this movie was sometime after they meet, one of the main characters vomits on the other. That's where we are with the comedy in this movie. It's bland. It's boring. Like, I don't mind a good romantic comedy every once in a while, but you gotta make it romantic and you gotta make it funny. Was it romantic? A little. Was it funny? A little. But there's so many questions I have about this world that the movie doesn't want to explain. And I just felt like, why would you just set it in this world other than like just to have some sort of hook and then not do anything with it? It just doesn't make sense. So even though I do find some of the stuff in the background more interesting than the stuff in the foreground, and there are a couple good surprises here and there, and also the two leads actually have some chemistry, I just found a lot of the comedy just lacking, felt very sitcomish. And also the fact that this world, there's so much about this world that is very questionable, and I don't understand like how anything in this world works. And I just felt like they didn't really know what to do with it other than let's just make a generic romantic comedy that just takes place in it. Again, I'm going to refer to The Purge and just say like, hey, this movie is basically The Purge for romantic comedies, and that is also very questionable in itself. So I will give One Night Only 1.5 out of 4 stars. Stream it. I may be a little too nice to it, but there's a lot of things that I'm questioning about this movie. So, what is your favorite odd concept movie? That's probably the best I can say for this movie. Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.